All right, what is going on? Welcome to another post game here on Rangers Central. We're at the Airbnb with the boys. Just got done at the Stadium Series. The Rangers win 6-5 in overtime. Panarin with the winner on that one. Fucking chaotic. Just a chaotic game. I'm going to get demonetized for this one, but absolutely. If your heart wasn't palpitating watching this game, I don't know what's wrong with you. You're a sicko, but my heart was palpitating, and the Rangers get done. They get done. It was not a pretty win, and yeah, I mean, a win is a win, but it was definitely not a pretty win. They played terrible on the defensive side of the puck pretty much the entire game. Their breakouts were terrible. They were not able to get through the neutral zone, but I'm sure no one's going to want to hear that because they won in a big game, if you will, because it was the Stadium Series. But we're going to talk about all of it. Before we do, leave a like on the post-game show. Subscribe if you guys are new. My voice is gone, so that's a problem, but it will be what it will be. But how are we feeling, everyone here? How are we feeling?
Fucking awesome, guys. Talk about a no-quit win, boys. No, seriously, a fucking unbelievable atmosphere. Rangers fans showed out. I honestly think it was 80-20 ratio. It was the best game I will ever go to in my entire life. The best game ever. I mean, it was just fucking incredible. Obviously, nitpicking, defense was fucking trash. Left Chessie out to dry in the first. And, that second goal was a little tough. But I think we actually really came back as a team and won the game. And I was actually impressed what we were able to do in the final off frame.
Yeah, second off, Joe, from that atmosphere, just immense. I mean, the Rangers fans came out and they supported their team. It was just incredible to watch. And, yeah, look, 2 points, you got the win, but that performance was just garbage, flat-out garbage. They got the win. I mean, it was pretty much a continuation of the Montreal game. Scored a lot of goals, shit defense. That's pretty much it.
I will say, as a Rangers fan, I've been a fan for almost 15 years now, and I don't go to that many games, but anytime there's like a crazy game, I always say, like, man, I wish I bought tickets to go to that game. Mm-hmm. And I always missed out. This was the game. This was finally the game that I got to go to and witness in person. Yeah. This crazy game. Yeah. And the Rangers may not have played the greatest, and I may have complained about fans not being loud enough, but the fans, number one, were there. And number two, there is no quit in New York, man.
Yes, sir.
There is no quit. Like, honestly, you guys can say what you want.
Yes, sir.
You can say what you want about the Rangers, complain that they're not Stanley Cup caliber. I will accept that, and I will talk and argue and have discussions with people. But this team's got fucking heart, man. They have heart, and that is something you cannot take away from them. When all of us thought they were out, had no point, no business coming back to win this game, they made it happen. Yeah, maybe the Islanders gifted them some penalties. They still had to score. The Islanders had just this much left to kill off to win the game. Yep. The Rangers had this much left to come back, and they were able to overcome that gap and win it.
Yeah, that's a fucking great point, actually. I love that point, just saying how close the Islanders were really shutting this out. It was a 5-on-3, and that puck, dude, the first
6-on-3. We pulled
the first fucking 4 seconds, dude. He almost scored a 200-footer, which
Clutterbuck just missed it.
Dude, I mean that's it right there. The fans are fucking leaving.
The puck.
It was absolutely unbelievable.
There was a lot of quality chances for the Islanders that they completely left on the table there. Igor also, though, made some big stops. There's one where he just slid across the crease, made a big stop on that. But to go back to the atmosphere quickly, because I want to talk about that before we talk about the game. Definitely one of the best atmospheres, probably the best atmosphere for a hockey game I've been to, even though it was hard to see things with the game. Definitely in terms of the crowd itself, the best atmosphere for a hockey game I've been to. And I've been to a couple playoff games, but that crowd was electric the whole way through. Even though I can't stand Islander fans, they were pretty loud themselves and energetic. Even though it was the majority Ranger fans. Like it was you, Joe. It said 80-20 probably. Yeah. I would say it was like 80-20 Ranger fans probably in the building, but it was loud pretty much the entire way through, except for when they were about to announce the OT call where you could hear a pin drop, and then the crowd went
wild,
crazy.
Ballistic.
It was just fucking crazy.
The only time the entire game the people behind us were quiet.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank God.
Yeah,
My
which
freaking ears were
thankfully.
ringing.
I gotta though give a major shout out to Peter Laviolette because you talk about a ballsy move, down 5-3
Yep.
with a power play, and you decide to pull Igor when
Yep.
you know that
I was
this
for that
this
move
could
completely.
and you pull the goalie, you're on the power play. All the Islanders gotta do is just shoot the puck down from the net and hit a lucky goal and just hit the goal.
Yep.
But they did it. It was a ballsy move. It worked out, and it started the comeback.
How about Lafreniere drawing that penalty at the end? Like, he took a really stupid penalty
Earlier
earlier in the
Yeah.
game that
Oh, it was
led
bad.
to that barrage of Islanders goals. He got it right. He got it back. Like not right away, but what a crucial time.
He played his nuts off. I thought Lav played hard.
Played great. And
Yeah.
I found him. Well, I found me watching him play more on that left wing side and kind of going back to his original position. That penalty he draw, he was on the left side and he was making that move like he has been
Cutting
his
to the
entire
outside.
life.
Yep.
Drawing that penalty against, I mean, huge moment in that game.
That line
It's just
carried.
fucking great.
That
It's just
the
great.
Trocek, Panarin, and Lafreniere line again carried. There was not a single shift they looked bad. They hustled the entire freaking game. I think they were the spark of energy that we lacked in the second, towards the halfway point of the first period on, and the second period. That line, I don't think had a single bad shift or a single shift. They were outplayed or allowed themselves to be outplayed and not work.
There was a
killed it.
couple shifts. The first period, I thought that Lafreniere had a
Was
rough
slow.
first period,
Yeah, he was
especially
slow
because there
start.
was a chance right in front too. He didn't even hit the net on. I think Cooley did too
Yes.
late that period. But after that line got going a bit. The third
Yes.
line, it was kind of the opposite. They kind of tailed off as the game.
they started.
went along.
I thought they were
great.
going to give the momentum.
Yeah, like on the first
Me
shift,
too.
and then the first shot, Gustafsson ended up scoring the goal. That was from the third line. Their
Yep.
forecheck was really good there.
Magnificent.
Yeah, and unfortunately they tailed off. But
Yeah.
I mean, another guy with balls that I want to talk about, Matt Rempe.
Oh
Because
my
if
God, dude.
If you read the quotes, I don't know who tweeted it out, but if you read it, Rempe was saying that he was eyeing Matt Martin in warm-ups. You have to have
I love
some
that.
next level
I
balls
love that.
to do that. He was built for this moment, throwing his arms up as he's going to the box. Did I like the fight afterwards in the moment? No, because I thought that gave the Islanders some momentum, but it ended up not mattering in the end. But
It was
a lot of it was snowballing because of the fact that Rempe fought when he probably shouldn't have. Lafreniere negated that power play that the Rangers had. Couldn't happen. And then allowing a goal 4-on-4, and then the Islanders get a power play right after.
Yeah.
It all snowballed into what it ended up being. But it didn't end up mattering. And they went down 4-1. It felt very similar to the game that I related it to the whole time was that Kevin Klein won back in 2015 when the Rangers played the Islanders at the Coliseum.
Yes.
That's what it felt like pretty much the whole way through.
I think Rempe had it in his mind, almost like how a baseball player making his debut is going to go into the box and take a swing on the first pitch. Just make his first hit be a home run.
Yeah.
First swing, first hit, home run. Rempe, I think, had that set in his mind that, all right, I know I'm going to be out here with Matt Martin.
Yeah.
I am dropping the gloves no matter what.
Yeah.
I said, you and me, Evan, we both said, like, Rempe's dropping the gloves his first shift, right? No question. But on the puck
I didn't
drop-
say his first shift, but I said he was going to fight this game.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
okay.
morning.
Well,
I didn't think the
anyways,
first shift, but you
I said
you were
first
right
period.
on the money with the first shift.
yeah, I said first shift. I did not think it was going to be right off the puck drop. Like, that was literally wasting no time.
Yeah.
Almost like when Cooley fought Kolasar,
Yes.
that game we went to.
Yes.
Yeah.
100.
But, I mean, Cooley had already logged a couple games, but, I mean, ballsy to take on a tough motherfucker.
And I think he
Kolasar.
won. I mean, I have to go back and double check the judge's scorecard. I think it was 29-28, 29-27, 29-28 in
significant
favor of
strikes.
Rempe. I think was that what the card was? I forget. But he won the split decision. So good for Rempe.
It was included in our subscription, too. We
Yes.
have to pay extra
You
for
know,
the
and,
video.
and shout out to him because it's your NHL debut. It's a big game, outdoor game, rivalry game, and he didn't look out of place.
No.
He looked very
I
impressive.
wish he would have got more ice.
I
time.
thought it was
Yeah.
so bizarre that he got benched, but Barclay Goodrow kept
Oh
getting
my god.
put out there
on
shift
the
after
ice for
shift,
3
and
goals against.
we were pissed off in the moment when the Rangers scored that fourth goal. They threw Barclay Goodrow like over the boards afterwards.
Fourth line immediately.
and immediately out there. It seemed dumb, but
It was a cardio
it ended up
Yeah.
it ended up working out. I mean, in terms of just period by period with this game, the first period was just horrendous. I mean, there's no way around it. It was dog shit. It was dog shit. Let me get the film.
Yeah, the film.
But, yeah,
Good dog shit.
Yeah.
I love that. You have that.
But yeah, they allowed 7 high danger chances total. They allowed 6 at 5v5. They got 1 on their side.
Just in the first period. Right?
Just in the first period. And,
Jesus.
after that first – I'm guessing the high danger chance was from Lafreniere in that first period. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. But, I mean, he's right in front of the net.
No, it wasn't even a goal.
It couldn't be the goal. The Gustafson goal was –
Sure when he walked down, kind of, and
It was either-
crouched the net.
It was either Cooley or Lafreniere, in my opinion.
Because I think
Yeah.
Cooley hit
Down
the
low.
net.
Yeah.
But regardless, the Rangers had 1 high danger chance that period. The Islanders had 18 shots with 7 high danger chances. That cannot happen after that just can't happen at all. They were lucky to be out of that period, only down by 2. The second period rolls along. They play. I would argue that some people might say the third. I'd argue. I'm not going to say they played a great period or a good period by any means, but I think that was their best period of the game.
Yes.
The second period.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of sparked something under our ass, saying like, "Hey, I know it was 4-1 at one point, but we're not out of this."
Because we
game.
went into the third period still down by 3, correct?
No, we were
No,
down.
we were down by
We're down
One.
by going.
One.
We're
No,
down
no,
by
It was 4-3.
You're right. It was 4-3. Then they went. You're right.
And then they
Oh,
scored
2
at the
quickies
end.
at the end. Yeah.
Another thing I forgot to mention in the first period is the timeout that Laviolette called after that third goal.
Yes.
Love the decision there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's
Do
great.
that.
Just
Stop
have
their
to.
momentum.
Yeah.
You have to
It
do.
slowed things down. The Rangers still played bad, but
Yeah.
it slowed things down at least, and the Rangers were at least they progressed. They at least got through the neutral zone every now and then, and they dumped the puck in instead of just icing it. Where a lot of the game they were forcing the home run pass, and I felt they were doing that too much still in the game to try and get through the neutral zone. They were trying to force the home run pass. It resulted in turnovers. There was guys not moving their feet way too much in this game. And the third period even too, like, they were down by 2, and you got guys like Chris Kreider just gliding on the back check, ended up scoring there in the third, and it worked out. And then Zibanejad too. A lot of power plays too, which I said on Big Apple Hockey Show. I don't know if when they're gonna upload that, but I was saying the power play needed to convert if the Rangers wanted to win this game, because deep down I knew this was going to be a high-scoring game regardless, and they came through. The power play, that's one thing that you could be very happy about. The power play came through like they have not recently, and hopefully this means that they'll keep clicking, but the 5v5 play itself definitely needs to be better, especially on the defensive end, because a guy like Gustafson, despite him scoring, didn't really do much for me at all. He was horrible tonight. Schneider was terrible. Even Fox had a couple shifts. And Lindgren too. I don't know what he's doing on that Romanov goal. That Romanov goal was terrible.
The
Keandre getting beat.
That one
on the Barzell one.
I think Shesterkin let in a couple soft ones, but the defense did leave him out to dry. Like the one goal I really had like a problem with Shesterkin was that second goal.
The second goal.
Horvat's down the right side, a lefty shot, blocker side.
Should have been an easy save.
I mean, he's off his angle there. I mean, but yeah, I agree. Like the other goals, the defense was just not there.
No.
And also, can we talk about I don't know how many times I counted, but when the Rangers dump the puck in, they just dump it in and just don't go fish for it.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well,
it.
that was the thing.
Kreider goes cross corner,
Their
right?
forecheck is bad, yeah.
And there's 3 Islanders there to get it, and no Rangers. Like Kreider's halfway between the red line and the goal or the blue line.
Yeah.
It's halfway between, and there's no one there. And Zibanejad and whoever the other line is in the neutral zone, or somebody's changing.
But we've been seeing that all season. Just with
fortunate.
being that with any team. Look at how easy it is for other teams to skate the puck out against the Rangers. But when the Rangers try to do it against other teams, they just have such a hard time. And it's not just not being able to break out the puck, but it's lack of speed also in transition. And we saw, even Joe, you pointed out, look how much better the Islanders were at defending the Rangers' transition chances than look how much better the Islanders were defending the Rangers' transition chances.
Then vice versa.
I mean, it seemed like every time the Islanders had a transition chance, it was a high danger chance.
Right. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was on the Rangers had one. All the Islanders defensemen had to do was put out a stick, use the body, and the transition game was dead.
Yeah, the
Also,
Islanders didn't generate much off their forecheck, really. It was really all in transition rush plays for the Islanders where they got their scoring chances. That was really most of their
Besides
game.
their first goal, that was just continuous pressure. But
Well,
Yeah.
after
my
that,
God.
after that one,
That
That was
it.
the Rangers again not being able to defend the perimeter of the ice. And then the second they do chase the perimeter, what happens? Brock Nelson cuts to the middle. He's found in the middle and goes top tit on.
Well, I should specify after the timeout, they were better in terms of
Correct.
100%.
sustaining the forecheck.
Correct.
But
Correct.
a lot of it was the rush after that. But early on, yeah, the Islanders were forechecking like crazy. And boxing fan, we talked about Igor, but I didn't think he was terrible. Like the defense was really the anchor in this game.
Yeah.
Like
He faced 40+ shots.
he faced a
Dude,
lot of
we-
shots
and
and a
we were
lot of high
double the
danger
shots for the
chances
majority
too.
of the game.
We were,
Rangers
at one
really
point it was
stepped
like
it up.
39 to like 14. I was like,
We-
this is
yeah.
The
embarrassing.
Rangers
It was
really
over.
caught
It
up in
was
shots.
embarrassing.
Like
Yeah.
I looked up at one point, it was like 40-20.
Yeah.
And then the next moment, it's like at the end of the game, it's 41-35 or something like
I think
that.
it was 39.
It was
30
39.
Whatever it was, whatever
Yeah,
it was,
incredible.
it
dude. I
was
was
a crazy
like, holy
shot.
shit.
Yeah, they outshot them in the third, like 16-6. The Rangers did,
Dude.
but
That's crazy because we were
Once
we
again,
were being outshot.
But again, that's what
9-1.
happens when you shoot the
One
puck
point.
and stop fucking dicking around with it the whole
Yeah.
time. You put the puck on it and you see what
Yeah,
happens.
just look too much perimeter play, especially earlier on in the game. You know,
Yeah.
how many times did the Rangers have possession in the offensive zone for a while, and they just created nothing
It's
offensively?
like they're scared of going to the middle of the ice. They have like a handful of guys that want to go to the middle, and it's like Cooley,
Yeah.
maybe Panarin, and
Kako every
Trocheck.
now and then.
Every now
well,
and again. And there's nothing
That's
wrong with
one guy, Kako. He needs to do that.
Yeah.
That's why I always say
He
that
did, like,
because he's the
one time
only
in
one
this
that
game.
shows a willingness to do it. He's just
Yeah.
got to do it
Yeah.
like all the time. Everybody complained about Gauthier doing that damn
the move
the
and then
move
shooting
around,
right to the chest.
but
Yeah,
he was the only guy that was doing that, going to the net.
I mean, look at the goal against the Canadians. Just took the puck out of the net.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's how you score, man.
Even though he was kind of behind the net, it was really on the goal line. He still drove the net, which is what we like to see. And it's
Exactly.
how
There's
fucking
nothing
time-
wrong with perimeter offense.
And that
Someone's gotta
was
fucking do it.
basically
Yeah.
coming off of
It
just
can't-
working the perimeter. If you're gonna work the perimeter, that's great. We love it. But if you don't attack the middle of the ice, you're not gonna fucking
You just
score.
need one guy.
And
You
it's
literally
just
need
that.
one guy to go
Yeah,
to the middle.
literally.
You have the defenseman that can move the puck and play point to point. You have guys that can play the low box, but you got to have someone in the middle of fucking ice. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many passes you have down
pushes
low.
them,
You
it
still
pushes
have
them inwards.
Yes,
They can
correct.
Converge on you,
And that's what
so
the Islanders
then
did.
it
But
opens
Nelson
shit up.
was right in the middle, and he sniped the hell out of Shesterkin. That's
Yeah.
what
That
happened.
was a good shot.
And
And
you
that was freaking
Was it net?
short side wrist.
Oh,
there,
my
you
man.
still have to get pucks to the net too.
Yeah.
Like they were not doing that enough. But the one thing that I like that they did on the power play and late, especially, is Sorokin. They made him move a
Yes.
lot in that net. They made him
Yeah.
move in that net. That's a bad jack goal. They were moving the puck there a lot, and I'm glad he hit the net on that one
Oh,
too.
my God.
But
Dude,
they
hit
made
it
him move.
convincingly. That was a snipe.
yeah,
That was top corner. That was sick.
and then the Panarin one in overtime where he just takes the puck
Yep.
and he gets Sorokin the bite. He fakes the shot and then draws it around.
Stutter
And
step.
the net gets knocked off, but they end up rolling it a goal. And with this, James, I didn't see what happened with Lindgren. If you could fill me in the chat, because we couldn't even see from where we were sitting.
We don't
We don't know what happened. And
We were you out in the car. We had no idea what the hell was going on.
yeah, and yeah, they have YouTube channels you could check out. Ice Cold Takes, that's the one in the Heritage jersey, and then the one in the beanie is Sea Jets. If you want to check them out. So
McDonald's lunch.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
But yeah, I thought that, and yeah, Lafreniere being on power play one when Trocheck was in the box, love that. I think they should just make that move happen anyway.
Yeah.
It's long
actually, I
overdue.
agree.
But yeah, I mean, them on the power play actually converting today was just it was refreshing to see that.
Yeah.
Can I like add with the Islanders what I was saying to you guys before, like all game, how like their transition play is where they got most of their offense,
Right.
but every time the Islanders got a chance, it was so chaotic. It was like you
Yeah.
thought that they were going to score.
Yep.
Like that's how it felt when the Rangers were on that big losing streak against every single team they played. That's what it felt like. Everything they gave up was a high danger chance.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm still concerned with. Like, I'm not moved by a 7-game winning streak. I love the effort that they put in.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe they could fix this.
Mhm.
Because if they didn't have a 7-game winning streak, they wouldn't be good in the first place.
Exactly.
So this is something that they need to fix and not just turn a blind eye to. Laviolette could do it. He's like the one guy that that was available that I would have faith in. So I don't know, trust the process.
I agree. I'm going to add to that. If you really narrow it down, we have two guys who shouldn't be in the NHL right now, as good as they are playing in Edstrom and Rempe. We have legitimately one right winger in our top 9, and it's just we're somehow making it work. And could you imagine what we could be doing with a better team with an actual third line center?
And if guys just showed up consistently more often and put an effort, like Kreider and Zibanejad in particular, like outside the goals they scored, there was just too much of them gliding tonight. Like, move your damn feet, and you see what happens when you don't. See what happens with Kreider when he actually like gets to the net. And Agent Smith is saying that Lindgren took a follow through from Romanov on that goal. I didn't even pay attention to that or notice that at all.
We're too busy ready to punt.
I thought Lindgren was out of the play, and I was too busy just about to
punt the game.
Sitting
Pun intended.
deep in my chair.
And yeah, I agree with this, that it was pawn hockey defense, which I kind of anticipated going into the game, but
It's all about the
Not much structure.
I didn't expect it to be this.
They tried
this
one
horrendous.
a couple times.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be this horrendous. I mean, the Islanders, I would say, were like decent defensively. I thought Sorokin was like kind of an issue for them. I thought Sorokin played pretty poorly actually for them.
Yeah, I mean, he came in since Waz been a coach. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was a 3-1-1, and he had like a 936 save percentage or something like that. And we definitely cracked the code tonight, so I'm definitely okay with that.
Dropped 6 on him.
Yeah, I think his goals against too was like 186, which is.
That's gonna be a favorite for a Vezina.
Yeah.
Drop a 6 piece again, like you said, with one right winger in our top 9, with 2 AHLers, Barclay Goodrow, who's like not even a KHLer. Let's fucking start and stop there with
He's a
Barclay Goodrow.
VHLer.
A VHLer. Yeah. If we're pulling out games like this right now, and I know it's the Islanders. Are they even in a playoff spot right now?
No, not right now.
So I understand. All right, whatever. Not even in a playoff spot right now. But if we're pulling out games like this, come from behind victories like this right now without reinforcements, imagine when the team does get reinforcements.
Yes.
Assuming they're going to be the right ones, of course. But if we're doing this now, imagine we're only going to get better. It's only going to get better. What's the Dolphins coach? It's only going to get bigger.
Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
I mean, another reinforcement though is they still need to make an upgrade on the blue line.
Yes. I agree. That showed tonight. That was glaring. And it's got to be someone that can skate. No, I'm not on the
Really?
I think it's got to be someone that can freaking skate.
Yeah.
Because besides Keandre Miller, who got beat tonight already, got beat, you have no speed on defense. You have no one.
I would not
No one that
mind.
can catch up.
Yeah, I agree with that too because the Rangers
No one had a
nice.
What's that?
No one had
I think we all are in agreement in Chikrin. I just don't know if it's.
I don't think Chikrin's
I
gonna
just don't think it's possible.
too expensive, and I think if you trade for Chikrin, you put too many assets towards him. You can't fill other holes that we have that are glaring.
You could do
So I
like
think
a
you
first
approach
and a prospect for Hannafin, right? What's the comparable, Nick?
Hannafin's a tough one because I think his name is bigger than he is.
Yeah.
And you know how his name is bigger than the player, than what you're going to get. So I think no matter what you pay for him, it's going to be too much because he's never going to give you back what you pay
Would
for
you
him.
compare it to Chikrin last season?
No, he's an expiring UFA. This is actually a really tough one. What did the Maple Leafs get Mark Giordano for? Did they get us?
They got him with Blackwell though. That's the thing.
That was
Well, then you could.
And didn't he have 2 years?
Borderline make an Eric Gustafson move here with was it Sandin and what?
It was Gustafson and something for Sandy. And I don't know.
Gustafson in a first.
You know,
Sandin doesn't have the rep as the same rep as Hannafin, but I get the.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, you got to think you're thinking like a number 3, a number 4 defenseman on trade deadline day on an expiring contract.
He's like a top. He's like
it's going to be tough to acquire him, but he would fit so well.
If it's with an extension, the comparison I think of is, assuming it's with an extension, is Hampus Lindholm to Boston. Only if it's with an extension. Similar age, similar style, both high draft picks, both good players, both skated well, both everyone wanted.
Both lefties as well.
Both lefties.
Very important.
I think with an extension, you're looking at a Lindholm return. But without an extension, I fear you pay more than what he's worth.
Yeah,
I agree. That's right. That's a guy you gotta need.
I think at that point you look to bargain bin.
I think he would. I think it would be worth extending him too over Lindgren.
Yes.
And then you put in if you keep Robertson around, then if you want to replace Lindgren,
right,
100%.
There you go.
And Robertson, in my opinion, is already a better skater than Lindgren. I don't know if he's a better defender. I don't know if he's a better puck mover. I don't know if he's this, that, or the other thing better than Lindgren. But I can tell you right now, he's already a better skater.
What do we think a Hannafin AAV would look like on an extension?
He probably won exactly what Lindholm got, between 6 and 6.5.
That's what I think. I was saying
Yeah,
like
I was
And I think that's an
6.5.
overpayment.
That's
It's an overpayment, I think. I don't think Hannafin's worth that. I think if Hannafin's making $5 million a year as the number 3, number 4 guy, is a good defenseman. But the problem is with Noah Hannafin, at least in my opinion, is that he doesn't do anything superb. He's just kind of good at just about everything. And he's a perfect 3-4 guy. I'm not paying him like a 1
I
or a
would
2.
take that honestly because there's guys on the Rangers already that have like they're good in one particular.
You have
thing.
to remember though too, if they're getting him at like 6.5 this offseason, you have to
Expensive,
you have to take into consideration other cap inflation. So it's like
Yeah.
you
But then,
are
then you
it's
can't
pretty
spend
much
in other areas. I don't know.
If it is 6.5 with the $3.5 million or $4 million increase, whatever it is,
yeah.
I'll take that.
I
We
don't
also
think it
are
would be bad.
notorious for not signing the rental players that we get, which is frustrating.
I'll start and stop here on Hannafin. I'll pay a second, a low to mid-round pick, and Zach Jones. Anything more than that, I think you're getting ripped off. I think if you pay a first plus, and I'm sure Calgary Flames like, oh, this guy's a retard. Oh, yeah, go cry me a fucking river. All right, know the worth of your players. I'll tell you right now, they're not worth as much as you think. If it's anything more than that, if you attach a first-round pick or one of your top prospects to Noah Hannafin, I think it's an overpay. Even if he's coming with an extension, then you can almost justify a first-round pick, but I still think it's an overpay.
I don't know.
I think he's overhyped. I think he's overrated.
I'm telling you right now, if I had him an extension of like 6.5 million, I think they'd do it, especially if they know that they can move Jacob Trouba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if they decide they're going to move on from Lindgren. I think that's a big.
If
That's a
they
big
move on
thing
from
too.
Linger, then that makes total sense.
You're not acquiring a $6.5 million defenseman to put him on the third pair. You're not because he's a left-handed shot. If you're not moving Lindgren, then it's either you move Lindgren out into the third pair, which we all know that didn't happen.
Yeah.
In the podcast, you know that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know they're not moving him down. You know they're not moving Keandre Miller down. So you're not paying $6.5 million for a third pair defenseman.
That's why we have Matthew Robertson now. We have
and
a
Matthew
lower
Robertson's
AAV
coming
in
up.
the lineup and a guy
Yeah.
who's a great skater.
The great skating thing I forgot to add before is the Rangers have bad. They can't break the puck out. They just have so much trouble for whatever reason. It's like it's one of the most basic tasks in hockey, right?
We have
fight
no
against
transition
themselves.
speed.
So,
it's so frustrating.
you might as well have somebody that could skate it out themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Shesterkin back there, he stops the puck, which is awesome. That guy can't skate it out.
No.
If he could, the guy's a great puck handler. But I'm just saying, like, you have if you have a guy that can skate the puck out like a defenseman, like Hannafin, that helps us out a lot.
Especially because I think the problem with the puck breakouts is not even as much on the defenseman as it is the forward's inability to get open. Because half of the battle is being open for a pass to even happen. So a lot of these contested passes are happening because no one's fucking open because no one can skate.
The movement off the puck is terrible.
It's brutal.
And especially you see it on the power play, which is how stagnant the power play is. That's why we
That's
keep.
why we
That's why we
were
keep
moving
We
tonight.
kept
that's-
moving today,
That's
though.
why
Yes.
we keep. But that's why for the majority of the time we keep everything to the outside, and we can never get an open player in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
If the New York Islanders, which I think are 29th in the league in shots per game, are moving the puck better than you consistently, it's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
The Rangers were skating in the beginning of the season. I don't know what happened.
They got
I don't know if
comfortable.
they're-
They got comfortable.
Complacent.
And Laviolette they got to a point, the same thing they did with Gallant, the same thing they did with Quinn, I don't know, that guy's a fucking dude to do. But Vigneault before him, the second they got comfortable and knew there wasn't gonna be repercussions for sucking,
They stopped
they
buying
just
it.
right. And what's the
They
incentive? What's the incentive?
reverted back to old habits.
Dude,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the incentive? They've all got no move clauses. They've all got guaranteed good. You're gonna buy out Zibanejad, you just signed an 8-year extension. You're gonna pay him for 16 years. You can't trade him. You can't buy him out. He has no incentive to try unless he really wants to win. And I'm not saying he doesn't, but financially, there's no incentive for him to try.
You're not wrong.
So like what he says is trying. Oh, I'm trying, but it's like no, you're not. It's
Right.
not. You're not giving me your all here.
Yeah,
We
you
need your all from all these players. Like that's why Panarin. I
Yeah.
feel like we're seeing it this year.
Yeah.
Than more than last year.
Yeah.
He's shooting. He's scoring. Honestly, I think Panarin could be an MVP candidate. That
think
play
that's
he
true.
made in overtime, he stole that puck. He could play
Let's
for
not
the New
forget
York
the shit he
Mets.
fucking rung the
Yeah.
post. in
Yeah.
that game,
Oh
too.
my god,
Shit,
that was
that was
loud.
a fucking
That was
rip, dude.
loud.
We heard that we were on
Away
the
from
other
him.
end of that, and we fucking heard that.
He took I think they credited his. I think it was the second goal. They
To
changed it to
Trocheck.
Trocheck.
Trocheck
Who
had
had
a
2
really
goals.
nice tip. Yeah.
Great call, by the way, by you in the beginning. You said watch Trocheck, and he freaking delivered. We were saying like he's going to score the hat trick, and as we're saying that, Panarin scores in overtime.
Yeah, Panarin, let me hold that for you.
No Derek Stepan's. So
No, that we
Yeah.
did not
Yeah,
even get
not
a chance.
one.
Stupid, you're
So,
not going to get the chance.
We didn't even hit the over on the 4.5, which is okay.
Which is okay.
'Cause the
that was
Rangers
probably
won.
the worst part of the game is that we didn't get any Derek Stepan
Yes.
moments in overtime.
Yes.
But
Which is
outside
the
that,
fourth-
to answer this, 10 out of 10 experience, especially because
Yeah.
I was not at the 2018 Winter Classic game and I cry about it. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy about that. And I don't know about the whole like Mackey's fine as a temporary guy, but
That's not a permanent
Yeah,
fix.
that's
not
not
No,
a
we can't.
long-term
We can't be
fix.
Yeah.
serious with this Ben Harper. You know, we're
Yeah.
gonna have this guy play.
Yeah, that's like when Ben Harper beat the shit out of who was it?
Corey Perry.
Corey Perry
That shit
last
was
year.
awesome. I love that.
It was great, but yeah, it's not.
It's a Band-Aid. Like that guy, like
It's a
that's a
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid. That's
Yeah.
not a
We need
permanent fix.
stitches.
Like
Yeah.
like we said earlier, they need somebody on the back end who can skate and move the puck.
Not
Yeah.
surgery, stitches. That's what you need.
This would be a disgusting
Surgery is what the
fourth
Canucks
line.
did.
Yeah, I would love it.
Yeah.
Edstrom, Dowd, Rempe. That would be
Yeah.
disgusting. But
I mean,
apparently, the asking price on Dowd is a first-round
Yeah.
pick.
Everybody's
so,
a
go
first
fuck
round
yourself.
pick, man.
Listen, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm okay. I'm okay with the fourth line as it is. I think I like Rempe and Edstrom. I do think at this point in their careers they're replaceable. I think in the future they'll be a part of it. But I think right now they're replaceable, especially unless you guys want to sit here and argue about it. I think Nicholas Wahlbeck-Kubel is better than both of them. So
Better
there's
than
an option.
Dowd?
No, better than Rempe and Edstrom.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we prefer an Wahlbeck-Kubel. And there's other guys, Nick Dowd. There's other fourth liners available that are better than them today. So let's not say we need them to be our fourth liners. They are replaceable today. They'll be great tomorrow, but today, I think if the Rangers are doing a full, we need to build this team out to give us the best opportunity to win. And you can get a guy like Nicholas Wahlbeck-Kubel, I think you need to do it, even if it means pushing one of them out of the lineup.
Interesting.
Meat
I don't
poison.
know. Maybe I would push Rempe out first, obviously.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind Edstrom being a regular.
If they
I
can
don't
find,
mind.
like,
I don't
if
mind it, but I think he's replaceable.
I could agree with that. I think Edstrom and Rempe are more like next year things to be the
Correct.
Yeah.
long-term.
Get him in
Options
now.
there.
Great cameo. Listen, they've had great cameos this year, right? A great introduction to the team. They both show that they can handle an NHL game. They both show they're not afraid to physically engage in an NHL game, play in big moments. So I'm okay with them playing full-time next year, but right now, I think you want to build this team
Right.
up from the bottom
Like
up.
you were saying, like this team doesn't have any reinforcements right
We
now,
don't.
and we're barely
We don't.
like the way they're winning. Just imagine how it'll be when they have reinforcements.
Right.
So to that point, I feel like the Rangers should invest that first round pick. It doesn't have to be this year's, maybe next year's. I don't know how the draft classes are going to be.
I'm against it.
I don't know.
We've watched the Rangers for so long of our first-round picks. I think there's a lot of value.
They've been pretty
in
conservative recently.
They have been.
Drury has he's made selections in the past two drafts.
Yes, I think you need to find your Vetrano value trade.
Yeah,
I think
they need.
There's
that
no
this year.
reason to have to give up anything more than a second-round pick at the max and one of your mid prospects. I'm not for going all in and buying big on a guy who's going to walk and then go to a division rival or something stupid. So Matthew Joseph is who I want more than anything. Matthew Joseph is my number.
Joseph would be such
That's
a
a
good
guy
fit.
you
Like
need.
I
they,
might be
He's
back
my
on
number-
with him because
he's my
I was
number one.
turned off by the 3 years left on his contract, but I think he's still young. He's
He
He's
kind of
young and
he
he
reminds me of
fits what they
Coleman in
need.
Tampa when he was on that third line. He's just a pain in the ass.
He's
He's
a
lefty,
speed
he's
killer,
big.
man.
he
He's
fits what
kinda
they need.
fast.
Yep.
The Rangers need guys that can skate. That guy is
Matthew
he's
Joseph would
fast
be
as fuck.
perfect. That would really be a jolt of energy. Getting a guy like Matthew Joseph. And then if you really need a shooter or something, then you look at the Jordan Eberles that we talk about all the time.
Yes.
That's who I think
Yes.
is a perfect fit.
Those are two guys right there. I don't know. I like Brodzinski as the third line center.
100%.
I mean,
100%. But
if you want to get a guy that is like Johnny Brodzinski, but just better, like more NHL caliber, you could do that and push Brodzinski down to the fourth line. Because
Yeah,
he
he'd be
brings
fucking
speed.
great.
Won't sit,
which would be
sadly.
great.
But sadly, Goudreau won't sit.
I freaking wish he would.
I-
My team would be so much better.
Once
without
again,
him.
like what value does this guy bring to the ice?
None.
It doesn't make any sense. Like
He's a net negative every time he's on the ice. He's a net negative. I can't think of a single Barclay Goodrow shift anytime recent. And you guys help me out if you can think of one where he did anything where it's like, wow, that was a shift when he was on the ice.
There
yeah,
was
a couple years ago. he
All
made
jokes
Pet-
aside, there was a game recently. I forgot which game it was
Yes,
that he actually played he played somewhat decent.
Okay.
And it's a low bar. Like I'm not saying
for
I'm not
him,
saying he played
for him.
great, but
Right.
it's at least he played serviceable.
A serviceable fourth liner.
His first year with the Rangers and now is like so completely different. It's like two completely different players. The first year,
I don't even know. I thought
the first. I know you
liked him.
didn't like him, but the first year, at least he was getting points. At least he was
Yeah.
fitting
Yeah,
in.
he
Like
had
he would
50
fill in for
goals.
Hunt.
Yeah.
He would draw. He would force the opposition.
Well,
to
yeah,
take
he was getting
stupid
he was getting
penalties.
points because Gerard Gallant, it was his fucking dog there, and
Yeah.
he was putting him on the first line, second line, and he was putting him on the power play even sometimes.
Yeah,
So it's
but
like,
yeah, and sometimes he's been out there. Like today, he had a shift with. I think that was a mistake, but
Yeah, I
he
think it was
looked
just
terrible.
fair.
Play with
Yeah.
Kreider as a
Terrible.
backup
He's like-
top line.
he's got stones for hands now. He can't move. His IQ is I don't know what he's thinking.
It's
half
dog
the time,
shit.
honestly.
Dog shit.
I don't get it.
And I want to give credit to Jimmy Vesey for trying today, but it's pretty clear that Jimmy Vesey cannot be on the top line.
Yeah, it's
His
can't
fourth
keep
line
him right.
role is just
Winger.
unbelievable.
but
We've been
I-
saying that. Like I understand. Like this is it's a Band-Aid, but like
He
it's
can't
not the
keep
long.
up.
You can't keep him there.
But at the same time, we were also talking about how VC is. We weren't complaining about VC during the game, but Mika and Kreider, we were up until
Yeah.
those two scored
Yes,
their goals. And
yes.
this
Of course,
comment
as
is
they always do.
this comment is the exact point that I'm trying to make. That counters what this person Y Rock is saying. That you don't get these many power plays in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you don't
you
get these
don't.
power play opportunities.
Unless you're playing well enough to draw them in the
Correct.
first place.
Yeah, that's just it's not going to happen. They need
love
defensemen
that,
that clear the crease. I think they need that, and they need someone that's quick on the back end. I agree with that.
You need someone to
1,000%.
just scare the fuck out of your opponent. And I'm not saying get this guy, but Racco Gudis did fucking great with the Panthers last year. He literally instilled fear into the Maple Leafs to the point where he's fucking. They were
He's actually a
afraid
decent
to attack.
defender, too. He defended pretty well,
And dude,
too.
listen, the guy's getting 4 to 5 hits every night. And again, I mean, I kind of want him, but I don't, obviously for cap reasons, whatever. But a guy like him would go so far on this team. And I know it's not the defensive we need because we need speed and we need guys to break the puck out. But a guy to instill fear into the opponent is a necessity in the playoffs, and it's a very important thing to have.
And Trouba can
You
be
got
that, but
yeah,
he
I
needs
was
to
gonna
do.
say
He
that.
needs to
Yeah,
do this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Trouba's one of the best body checkers in the entire league, but
He can't
Doesn't
go,
do it enough.
Well, he can't do. I will say though, like I wouldn't put it all out there. Like go all out in game. What are we at? Game 57,
55.
Yeah.
55.
Chris Summers.
Right? Like what if he gets injured or something like that?
Yeah.
Just get us there, and when you get to game one of the dance,
Yep.
you bring it.
Mhm.
You like save some of your energy for right now. It's a long season. I understand that. Yeah, but I mean, you got to give us something at least.
Evan, do you have those 3 players I sent as deadline targets a few days ago saved by chance on your phone? I don't have my phone with me, so I can't check. I had 3 really, I had 2 or 3 really random, or relatively random, the guys that could be available that I thought would be great. Ah, shit, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I was looking at some middle 6 guys, and these 2 I think were guys you can get for relatively cheap. It's going to be in the Mets group chat. But, just back to deadline, I don't want to overpay for anyone. I'm not really for
a
good
deadline
first
target list.
I don't think Drury is for overpaying anybody
No,
either
that's
because he hasn't really.
It is.
I hope not. I think there's a lot of value in this year's trade deadline in that it's so flooded with mid players that you can get someone for cheap. That's
But,
a problem.
yeah.
Not really.
You can't find them?
No, you had Zegers, Joseph, Everly, Albecadell, and Chikrin.
No,
That's old. This is more recent than what I said. This was. Oh god, I did it. I remember doing it at work. Might have been on Thursday or Wednesday. It was this past week. I could have swore.
What do you think about that?
That's the Pops moment. And yeah, the Trocheck's deflection on the power play was sick. Yeah,
That was
I didn't
really
even
nice.
notice it was.
Shane Pinto. That was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's who it was.
I
yeah.
think that's a pivot podcast.
You mind just type in Shane Pinto's name in the group chat and see ya, because I had the other 2 players on there. Shane Pinto was one of them. That's a kid who grew up a Rangers fan, I believe. Laz talks to him all the time. Shane Pinto.
Kid's nasty.
And there was 2 more.
No, not showing up.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Damn. Wish I could remember them. Yeah. Oh well. I'll have to find them
Shane
again.
Pinto.
Where's next
man.
time?
That'll be a good one. That'll be sneaky good.
That would be a good
I
one.
think Ottawa would be freaking stupid if they gave up on him. But I would love that.
Pinto and Matthew Joseph
But
are
it
the
is
same deal.
Ottawa at the same time. They don't know what a computer is there.
Max.
They're still using pencil and paper up there.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to wrap up the post-game stream here. Went for about 40 minutes. So I appreciate everyone that did tune in. Leave a like if you have not already. We have 60 of you guys in here. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications too so you know when I upload or go live next. And when's the next game? It's on Tuesday, right?
It's Dallas.
Good. I need a couple days off here.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, actually, it's only one. God
Yeah,
damn.
you get 1 day off. That's
But-
it.
Back to work.
We'll see you guys on Tuesday for that post-game stream. Thank you guys
Yes,
for
sir.
stopping in.
Sir.